Hi, Steve Gamache with a Chef Knives to Go quick look product video, and this time we're looking at a new offering that Mark's just getting in, and this is the Minamoto Hamon 19C27 is the steel, Santoku 180mm knife. He's got a couple different lines coming in from this maker. So this particular one uses a 19C27 Sandvik stainless steel, and the heat treat rating is not specified yet, but it should be around 60 to 61 Rockwell as approximate for this. The construction is stainless steel softer cladding over the top of that, and this has kind of a Hamon type line, or Hamon, I'm not sure how you pronounce that exactly, but we'll leave it at that. So it's a very visually interesting knife, and there's your coarse steel at the edge. The knife itself has a pretty polished finish on the blade face itself, and then a sandblasted finish on the blade road, which is generous. So there's where the grind starts down here, and you've got some embossed kanji on the blade. It's a really nice looking knife. The weight on the knife is about 5.2 ounces, which is pretty light considering it's a partial Western. We'll get into that. The blade length is 180, so it's a good size Santoku. Some Santokus are a little shorter, so if you like a little more length, this is a nice example for that. And the overall length's about 12 inches. This is a thin blade. The spine thickness above the heel back here, chin area, is about 1.7, and it's going to pretty much carry that all the way through until you hit the grind of the knife. So it's not a lot of distal taper, but it's a thin blade to start with. And so your grind starts about right in here and boom, out to the tip where it thins up, of course. The height on this blade is 46 millimeter from spine to chin heel area back here. And the handle type is an interesting handle. It's a black pack of wood. And the fit and finish, by the way, is really nice on this handle. I like the angled bolster on it. I had a question come up about whether this is a pinned bolster or not. I don't really see any pins on behind her, but I'm going to suspect it is a pinned bolster because there is that. It's flush, but it's not a continuous forged, welded area back here. So there is that. It's basically pinched on the blade. So I'm pretty sure this is a pinned bolster. But very nice looking blade, and the bolster has a cool angled type look to it. This is a partial tang, so the tang comes into the top and then ends about right here on the handle end, and then the bottom is just continuous wood. And I personally like that because it's less places for water to enter, and it also lightens up the handle just a little bit from a full-on tang. And you've got a bit of a curve here to the handle. There's a shape to that wood that they've finished off real nicely, so it fits nice in the hand. It's just a real nice handle implementation in my opinion. So I like that partial tang characteristic myself. The handle itself is not particularly large, but it does fit the blade size well in my opinion. And the balance point on the knife is like right about here. If that was a full tang handle, it'd be way back of that. So it's right about there on the bolster. The profile on the blade is a gentle curve throughout the entire length of the profile, not a lot of super flat. It's an overall flat profile, but there's no dead flat spots on it. And this blade is quite thin at the edge. This blade really goes through ingredients very, very well. I took it through a lot of different types of ingredients, including some big old honking onions. I got some tough onions I got around, and it blew through those really well. The knife is not particularly non-stick because it is quite thin and there's not a lot of texture to the surface of the blade, so I would not categorize it as non-stick going through things like potatoes and such, but it's a high performance blade. You've always got compromises and characteristics on this knife, so it's a really good performing knife, and it's a very nice looking knife as well. The out-of-the-box edge on this was actually excellent. I'm going to give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. The edge bevel's done really nicely. It's very sharp, and they put a pretty decent-sized edge bevel on this. They weren't too shy about their angles on this, despite the fact that it's pretty thin at the edge. You've got a pretty substantial edge bevel on there, so they're not getting shy about their angles on this. And it's very sharp. It's got some bite or tooth to the edge. And out of the box, again, I did not touch this out of the box. It was screaming sharp out of the box. The fit and finish is quite nice on this. It's pretty comfortable out of the box, ready to roll. Really, nothing you got to do to it. Just pull it out and start working. Here's my little cutting board here to show you the profile, and you'll see it's pretty much a continuous curve. There's no dead flat spot at the heel, but it's great for rocking ingredients, and you can do some nice push cutting with it as well. Again, it just doesn't have a dead flat spot on it, but real nice blade characteristics. I liked using this knife a lot, and it worked really well in a lot of ingredients. So I think this is a real winner from Mark. So it's an all stainless blade, really nice characteristics. I'm not quite sure what the price point is on this yet, but it's an extremely nice knife and was a pleasure to use. So this is a solid option in his lineup. So the Minamoto Hamon 19C27 steel Santoku 180mm knife.